Okay, cool. We are live on YouTube here. So just bear with us as we get everything set up and have everyone get set up here. So you're just going to have to wait around for a couple minutes as I get my streaming on Facebook. So basically, this 5-day mini part series is going to be all about crypto. I'm going to be sharing a little bit of the ins and the outs from the very beginner standpoint, because you know what? I've noticed that there's a lot of scams out there, there's a lot of misinformation, and I just want to make sure everybody is super educated and get the right information so they can take advantage of one of the biggest opportunities in 2021 inside of cryptocurrency history. So I will be breaking all the little details down throughout the next 5 days. I'll be going live. So bear with me for 1 minute as I get everything else set up here. And we'll go from there. So I'll play some music for y'all. And as people tune in, we'll go from that. Okay. Got my Facebook up and going. See how this works. All right. I should have you all on here. What is good, everybody? What is good? So firstly, whoever's tuning in right now, you know what? I appreciate you. So what is being put on right now is going to be a 5-part series. And I will be talking about cryptocurrency, breaking it all down, because honestly, I feel like I'm obligated to share this message, because you know what, I see so many people out there that are getting scammed, some people that are just misinformed, and you know, at the end of the day, the last thing I want is for you guys to miss out on this biggest opportunity that's going to be happening in 2021. So that's why I put together this little mini part series where I'll be educating and informing you guys all the ins and outs with cryptocurrency, so that way you don't miss a beat, and that way you have a better understanding and lead to better confidence, which will lead to the right actions, which will ultimately lead to the results that you're after. So I've been talked about cryptocurrency. I've been talking with my team members like crazy about this topic, and honestly, what is going down right now, you don't want to miss. So as you guys are tuning in, and if you're catching the replay, what I want to do, my intention behind this series is for it to be interactive, so I'll have a chance at the end of the video to do some Q&A, drop it in the comments as we go through it. I'll definitely take a look. So I want it to be interactive, as well as for people that are interacting on this video, the people that engage on all 5 videos, I will be giving some free crypto sent to them personally, just for showing up. So I'll reward you guys for just showing up, participating. So I want you guys to be able to engage, comment, ask the right questions. This is ultimately for you guys, and we'll go from there. So firstly, a little bit about me. I've been in the online space for over 2 years now, working full-time online. This is what I do. I love seeing other people win, and I love, I felt like I've been put on this planet for something greater than just myself. I'm destined to give back and help out in a big, meaningful way. So what I do is I help people create multiple streams of income online right through their smartphone. Maybe one of them is cryptocurrency. Not everybody is into cryptocurrency, and that's totally cool. But this series is all about crypto. So moving forward, back in 2017, when that first big crypto wave kind of happened, honestly, I got involved in it and I lost a lot of money. And I just don't want anyone else to have that same thing because they were misinformed. For me, I had no clue what I was doing. I was making decent money at the time. I was living in Australia and I figured, okay, I'm just going to buy. And I just did that. I had no research. I had no clue what I was doing. And, in hopes I was going to get rich. And, next thing you know, things dropped off. I didn't know when to exit. And, yeah, it is what it is. And you know what? And I also didn't know anything about my security of my wallets or anything like that. So I ended up losing a lot of coins as well, just by losing my phones and so forth like that, because I had no clue. So that's a little bit about my experience. So, but now today, fast forward today, I'm plugged in with the right education, with the right people, and I've learned a lot over the last several months. I'm an avid Forex trader, so I trade all the time. It's a big majority of my income. But yeah, so I just want to make sure I can pass on the information. At the end of the day, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I will be breaking down a lot of the things on the charts, sharing with you some more of the juicy details, but I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take my word of advice to the grain and, just, take it with a grain, right? So I just want to make sure you guys know that. That's my little, I don't know what it's called, but disclaimer. So let me get right into it right now as we are on and we are live. So firstly, guys, we need to understand, okay, so what is happening with, the crypto market and Bitcoin as we stand, all right? So I'm going to pull up my chart. I'm going to operate with two hands here because I got to do the computer and this phone. So right now with Bitcoin, we are sitting at, roughly $48,000 currently right now as we stand. And let's look at the total market cap as a whole. And this is what's going to shock you and make. So this is called a daily chart. Let's put on a weekly chart actually. So here's a weekly chart of cryptocurrencies as a whole. So as we can see, from beginning of time, it's been just sort of going up. This was back in 2017 when we had that initial that bull run there. But let's look at what's happening in current times right now. And this is really important to just kind of understand sort of what sort of money is going in these markets. So literally over just the last week alone, there's been roughly $400 billion dropped into this market. So almost a 41% gain just over the last, week, 2 weeks alone. That has been happening right now as we speak. So this is really important to understand because there's so much money coming in, but we have an opportunity to place ourselves before the bigger institutions come in, before the hundreds of billions of dollars come in, right? We all saw in the news and so forth like that Tesla came in here and dropped $1.5 billion. And that's amazing, right? But at the end of the day, that's still very, very small money in this sense. If you ever looked into the Forex market, you would actually see how in the Forex market, we have big players like JP Morgan, Citibank, Chase Bank, all these big institutions, and they put hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars every single day of your guys' money into those markets alone. So wait until they come into these markets and play into these markets too. So basically, at the end of the day, guys, my intention behind this is to make sure that nobody misses out, as well as get the right information so they don't get scammed, because I know a lot of people have been scammed out of, different things online. And so I just want to, come from my heart to educate a little bit of what I've learned. So Now moving into this next thing here is what I want to show you guys is, let's look at Bitcoin as a technology, right? So Bitcoin as a technology, and we can see adoption rates of different technologies that have come into play over the years, right? What has happened on this yield curve? Well, it's just exponential. It just went whoop, 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 right? So you can see this, for example, the TV. The TV came in 1950, and like that, it was in, majority of the households within a couple years, right? You see cell phones came in over here, the smartphone, and, within just a couple of years, everybody has a cell phone, right? So it's the same thing with Bitcoin today, and blockchain technology. It's just starting to get adapted, because you can buy houses with it, you can go get pop bottles with it, you can now make everyday purchases. MasterCard's getting up on it, Visa's getting up on it, PayPal's getting up on it. So very soon, we're on this adoption list where it's moving up right now, but soon the whole world is going to be using Bitcoin. And why is that? Let's look at the dollar, for example. So this is your US dollar sitting in your bank account right now as we speak. So over the last, here, let's go in a higher time frame. This is over on a daily time frame. Over the last several months, what has the dollar been doing? It has been going down. So the money that's sitting in your bank account is actually going down and down and down. As well, inflation, right? The $100 sitting in your bank account today, will be able to buy you this, and that. But, in 5 years from now, it's only going to buy you this and this, right? So we got to understand, sort of what's happening. So as they're just continuing to print more money, right, the dollars in your bank accounts are going down. And when, for example, American dollar goes down because it's a cross pair of the US dollar, Bitcoin's going to go up as well. But it also provides more use case, because why do people want to put their money into US dollars? Right? You're going to let your bank account give you your 0.5% a year, right? People are putting their money in other places, right? Let's go look at gold, for example. Gold's always been like a go-to for everybody in terms of like putting, let me remove all these things here. For example, gold's always a place for people to put, their long-term investments in. But right now, over the last, how many years it's been? Well, over the last 193 days, right, it hasn't made any new all-time highs. It hasn't been going up. And then let's look at it in a bigger standpoint, right? So at the end of the day, do people want to be putting their money in gold right now? Not entirely, right? So people are putting money into cryptocurrencies at this very given moment. So now we can, we have an understanding of an adaptation. We have an understanding, okay, what is Bitcoin as a technology, right? We can buy many things with crypto. It's much more effective. It's super quick. I use it all the time. For example, I was paying a digital designer to get a logo done for myself, and it was so much easier for me to send him Bitcoin than it is to me to try to fund up my PayPal account, send it via PayPal or bank transfer or whatever. Bitcoin is instant. It's there in a couple minutes. He has it. It's good. And it's super simple to use. Now, another thing here is we look at the market cap, right? Totally right now, we have roughly around $1.5 trillion in there. Bitcoin itself, only has X amount of coins, right? You see here, there's only 21 million coins that can ever be printed, meaning they can't just go and print more dollars, right? Like what they're doing right now with the US dollar, right? With all these stimulus packages, they're printing off trillions and trillions of dollars, right? But here in Bitcoin, they can no longer get more Bitcoin. So from this understanding, you put it in a simple, super simple, like supply and demand curve, right? As the supply goes down, what happens usually? The prices go up. And then as the demand goes up, the prices are going to go up as well. Because right now the demand's super high. For example, on, certain exchanges these days, they're getting lesser and lesser amounts of Bitcoin even available on their exchanges. So, meaning it's harder and harder for the average ordinary person to even go buy half a Bitcoin or a sliver of a Bitcoin. And now look at this one, you're talking about, how Elon Musk went off and bought $1.5 billion of Bitcoin, and he's made more money in the last 2 weeks alone from Bitcoin than he's done in the last year selling all his cars. Can you believe that? And that's literally what's been happening. But as you're going to see more and more people hopping into this space. I heard Apple is buying some Bitcoin. Imagine if they introduce something like, they have Apple Pay, but imagine if they introduce something in there like BitPay, where they use a cryptocurrency inside of their Apple device. Now, just like that, they become overnight one of the, just overnight, literally they become the biggest, crypto supplier or crypto exchange, literally just overnight by adapting that into their business. I feel like it would be a smart move by them. I think there's around 1 billion Apple users worldwide, right? So here's Morgan Stanley. They're looking to even acquire $150 billion of Bitcoin, right? And for these big institutions to go and acquire that much Bitcoin, right? There's a lot of paperwork. There's the taxation. They have to deal with all these things, but it's going to happen. And what do you want to do is you want to be inside the market before that even happens, right? Because, how these big funds trade, right? When they get in, they're not gonna want price to ever come back to where it was. For example, Elon Musk, he got in right at around here, which shot it up like that, right? You see how price went from roughly around 38,000 to about 48,000, almost $10,000 pretty much overnight. All right. So, but now this is a new ceiling because you know what? As price do they want price to come back down and come below here? Heck no, I wouldn't want my money to go below there because that means they would be losing money. As price goes down, they're going to lose more money if that's the case, right? So they're going to do whatever it takes to make sure prices never ever comes back to this zone, right? And think about when someone comes in with $150 billion. Well, they definitely don't want price to go below, right? So as we see, more and more people are getting into cryptocurrencies today, but it's just so important to, how you can position yourself properly, right? So here, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. So this is you can actually trade this on the stock market, but they acquire Bitcoin and their stock moves like a Bitcoin, right? And this is back in December 23rd, right? So it's a while ago, but they have over 570,000 Bitcoins, right? Which I believe they've acquired a lot more since then. But either way, so you can see all these big players are coming into these markets. And, compared to back in the day where we saw back in the day of 2017, when that move happened right there, it was a mom and a pa that was moving these markets. It was the media that was moving these markets. It wasn't big institutions, right? But now today, it's going to be the institutions that come in and to play in this move. And we're just at the beginning phases of this next move. And you know what? I'll break down more of this on the next video, explaining, what Bitcoin does from when it breaks out on previous highs, for example, on these type of moves. And I'll be sharing a little bit more of, these fib levels and the explanation of how price moves. As you see from this previous in 2017, looking at a fundamental standpoint, price broke the previous all-time high. It touched this area, and it never, ever came back to see that price ever again over the next several years. Right? From 2017 to now 2020, right? Price never came back and touched that area. And what has happened now? Price has broke this all-time high. And look, and it's got a lot of room for the next moves. So, more importantly than ever, it is really, really important to understand this subject, get educated inside the crypto space, because not only is it Bitcoin, but there's all these other uses of these smaller currencies, right? For example, Ethereum, there's over 6,000 cryptocurrencies out there, and Ethereum, 80% of those cryptocurrencies use that Ethereum network, that blockchain, right? So there's a lot of different currencies out there that have different use cases, right? There's another one I was just looking into, and they're going to be using it, then there's all these backers like, the UFC, the NBA, Dr. Seuss, all these different things. And they're going to be using this coin as a currency, as what they want to do to purchase these type of collectibles that are going to be really hot, that sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and people want to collect, right? And they have to use this cryptocurrency in order to buy it, right? So there's a high use case for that. You get into something like that, you get informed about that subject, well, you can get in early before the major adaptation gets in, right? So right now is a very important time to understand about cryptos, because over the next several months, you'll wish that you got in. It's like you saying that you wish you bought Bitcoin when it was $100 or when it was $1,000, right? But you're also going to wish that you bought it when it was at $45,000, when it's at, 100,000 plus, right? So more importantly, it is really important to understand this subject. It's really important to get informed. Also understand, who do you listen to, right? I get this information, I learn from top educators. I listen to people that have made 8 figures in these markets, who have been trading Bitcoin for 9+ years, right? Those are the people that I listen to and I get this information from, right? Because it's really important. Are you going to listen to your friend on the street who says, hey, you know what? I don't think you should get into that. Like, it's going to drop off the planet, right? Well, what does he have to say? How much money has he made trading Bitcoin, right? As well, when you do go on to the online space, right, there is a lot of misinformation out there. For me, the reason why I wanted to create this series for you guys is because I see so many people posting their profits. Hey, I got this much Ethereum. Hey, look at my portfolio grow. But they don't actually tell them about, what it's about. How can one get started? How can one find more information on this subject, right? They're just saying, hey, look at me. I'm making all this money, right? But it's more importantly to understand, okay, well, what's the story behind the candles? What's the story behind the overall picture? How can you get educated? How can you get informed? Because most people who are scared of Bitcoin or who are scared of this area, it's because they lack the information. They lack the education because we're never taught, right? So unfortunately, in this space, 90% of people are going to lose money. 90% of people, 90% of Forex traders lose money, guys. Right? But it's the same thing in sports, for example. 90% of people, don't make it to the big leagues. Right? It's the ones that stick and stay, the ones that actually learn and get informed and plugged in with the right people that become that 10%. Right? So it's very, very important to put education first and get informed about this place. Surround yourself with the right people, with the right environment, because you are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with, right? You hang out with 5 broke friends, well, you're going to also be broke too. You hang out with 5, millionaires, well, you're going to be the 6th millionaire as well, right? So it's very, very important. So over the next 5 days here, I'll be sharing a little bit more of the insides. I'll do up some special trainings for you guys, understanding a little bit of, the security behind it. So that way your assets are protected, as well as how you can enter, right? For example, I also trade this leveragely in a MetaTrader 4 style, right? So I'm trading these smaller moves. For example, this was a trade I took last night, right here. And I entered on a small time frame. So I have a stop loss in place. So I'm only risking a small amount. So I risked 2% on my account on this trade. And look at this risk to reward ratio, 7.5. And just like that, risking 2%, I just made 14% of my account. Right? In literally, how much time? In 5.5 hours, right? So, those are pretty good gains. I wouldn't, do you make that kind of money inside of your Amatrade account, or like, inside of, Robinhood, or even in your bank account? Is it just sitting in there, right? I don't know. Right? Some other projects I'm getting into, right? Is I'm always looking to get into other little projects. I got into this one last night. I got in right there. I actually had a limit order right there. And currently sitting, right, with this little project, I'm up already 20%. Right? So there's 20% gain as we speak on this project here. So so the most important thing is, how can we get this information so that way we can take advantage of the situation, right? So over these next 5 days, I'll be breaking it down. My inbox is open, so feel free to shoot me a message. Comment on the video. I'll be replying to all the comments. So if you have any questions, I'll be there to answer any of those questions, and we can have a chat, right? And so that's basically it for this first video, guys. I will be bringing more and more value throughout the week, so that way we can all be in this together and just educate on the subject. I think it's a very, very important subject that everybody needs to understand and also learn how to take advantage of. So anyways, guys, so I'll leave it at that. As well, reminder, if you comment and engage on this video, each and single video, I will be giving a giveaway by the end of the week. So someone that sticks and stays throughout the entire week, I will be giving away some crypto. I haven't decided how much money, and I haven't decided which crypto yet. But as I go through some of these really cool projects I'm looking to get into, I will decide exactly what that is. And so yeah, guys, as we go about this, just remember, yeah, that's basically it, right? So I'm here for you guys. I'm here for the people. And I just want to make sure everybody's educated about this subject. I just felt like it was obligated. At the end of the day, this isn't what I don't want to be known as the Bitcoin guy. And I don't want to be put off as that person. But I have accumulated a lot of knowledge, and it's just something I got to share because, heck, people need this information. So that being said, everyone, I really appreciate you guys tuning in and being on this live As well, for the guys on YouTube, I'm curious to see how this is working. And that's basically it. So that being said, see you guys tomorrow. I will let you guys know which time I will be doing the live video at, because my schedule is changing every single day. It won't be at the same time. I'm looking at in the morning sometime tomorrow. I'll be doing day number 2. As well, I'll work out for my European friends who want to hop on that one. So I'm definitely not giving away Dogecoin. That is not happening. Like, that is a joke coin. That is definitely not going to, I'm not giving that away. 100%. Nah, no thank you. You know, here, I'll share something with Dogecoin really quick. Just for the sake of the Dogers out there. And, you know, this is the problem. People buy off the hype, right? People are getting into this currency because they just feel like it. Okay, I don't know where it says it exactly, but, you know, at the end of the day, see the supply, it's unlimited, right? So the supply is completely unlimited, where the supply is always going up, right? So there's no supply and demand really, because, you know, boom. And now, for example, Dogecoin, it does, I was told this, I don't want to say something wrong, but I believe it's 10,000, it prints off 10,000 new coins, whether it's every minute or every hour. I'll have to get you the right information there, but it does, you know, 10,000 coins very fast, right? And if that's the case, if it's continually putting out 10,000 coins, that means people, you know, people are hoping that Dogecoin will hit $1, right? Well, if it's going to stay at $1, that means, yeah, it's 10,000 every minute actually. And that means $10,000 has to be going in every single minute to even keep this thing at $1. So are people going to be throwing in $10,000 every single minute into this project? I don't really think so. So I wish you all the best, you Dogers out there. That being said, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate everyone in the chats there. As well, anyone on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next one. All right. Catch ya.